So ano pong ibig sabihin nyo? Na ang sinusundan nyo ay kung anong gustong ipalagay dito sa accomplishment report, which is based on the object of expenditures provided by Colonel Achika.
Ang nilagay po niya sa object of expenditures po, ma'am, ay in connection na po sa aming prepare ng financial and physical plan po. Kasi kasama ko po siya paggawa ng financial and physical plan.
Financial and physical plan. Sino po bang gumagawa ng financial and physical plan?
Ang nagdradraft po, ang nag-prepare ako po at si Sir La Chica.
Okay. Ano po ba ang trabaho ni Colonel Achika? Malapit na po akong malito. Malapit ko na pong isipin ang disbursing officer ay si Colonel Achika.
Hindi po.
What is the designation of Colonel Achika, please?
Siya po ang aming security officer.
And a security officer, ano ho bang trabaho ni Colonel Achika? Is it her job to prepare the financial plan?
Hindi po.
Is it her job to prepare the accomplishment report?
In the financial po, siya po ang magbibigay sa akin ng information or guide kung ano po ang magiging confidential activities po in relation sa confidential funds po na gagamitin.
I hope you realize, Ms. Acosta, that you are the special disbursing officer.
Yes po, ma'am. Alam ko po.
And part of your job is to prepare the financial plan.
Yes po.
As a matter of fact, the financial plan does not bear at all the signature or the name of Colonel Achika.
Yes po, pero sa kanya po ako humihingi ng inputs or information with regards to the implementation of all the projects included under confidential funds po.
If you're asking for the possible program, subject of expenditure, is it correct to say that you are soliciting some information only and not necessarily the one working with you in the preparation of financial plan? Magkaiba po yon.
Ang hinihingi ko po sa kanya, ma'am, is ano po, mga inputs po or guidance in preparation for the financial plan, especially related po sa confidential activities po.
Ms. Acosta, do you understand your job as a special disbursing officer?
Yes, ma'am.
This is very significant job
Yes, ma'am.
because it entails so much trust and confidence.
Yes po.
Because you are the one in charge of taking custody of the huge amount of money. Tama?
Yes, ma'am.
As a matter of fact, to ensure the fidelity of this money, nire-require pa kayo ng fidelity fund, bond.
Ban.
Tama po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why do you keep on pointing to Colonel Achika?
Kasi siya po ang may alam kung i-implement na po yung mga project under confidential plan funds.
Who will be responsible in case this money is misappropriated? Who will be responsible in case this money is lost? Who will be responsible in case this money went to the wrong person? Sino po ba ang magiging responsable?
Ako po.
Because you are the special disbursing officer and not Colonel Achika.
Yes po.
Let's go back to the question. 125 million po yun. You were saying, ang object of expenditure is similar to the accomplishment report. The only difference is the amount.
Yes, ma'am.
Enlighten us. Ano ang laman ng object expenditure totaling to 125 million, reason why you fully turned over the entire amount?
Ang laman po ng binigay niya sa akin ng object of expenditures ay yun pong pamaraan kung ano ang ginagawa niya.
Can we please be specific? We're talking of huge amount of money, Ms. Acosta. This is 125 million. Of course, you realize the significance of this amount. and being the special disbursing officer, hindi mo ito basta ita-turn over kung hindi mo nakikita na well-tallied yung object of expenditure that you are referring to. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. Pero may information na po ako na pag natanggap ko ang pera, ibigay ko po sa security officer namin.
Even without the object of expenditure?
Meron po.
Okay, let's go back to your object of expenditure. Kasi ako, Ms. Acosta, if I am the custodian of 125 million and I was directed to turn over this to a certain person, I will be very careful to make sure that whatever's in the list tally to the entire amount of 125 million. Now tell us, ano ang laman ng object of expenditure?
Ang laman po ng object of expenditures ay yun pong mga expected expenses sa pagpatupad po ng confidential activities.
I know. Can you please state the item? Kanina po, ang sabi nyo, purchase of information, payment of reward. Ituloy nyo po yun. You even said that there's a payment of reward, hindi nasunod yung 10 million. So magkano po ang nasunod?
Ito na pong akong placement report na final, ma'am, yung gi-attach ko po sa liquidation report.
Okay. So, are you changing your answer now? Kasi kanina po ang sabi nyo, object expenditure is not yet final. Accomplishment report is final.
Yes po. Yes po.
So, are you
Iba po
referring to
siya.
two different documents, object expenditure and accomplishment report?
Yes po, yan po ang
Dalawa.
gusto kong iparating po.
And you were saying, ito na nga po yun. Ano bang ibig sabihin when you said, ito na nga po yun? What do you mean by that?
Ang binigay po sa akin ni Sir La Chica, hindi po ganito ang forma, ma'am. Simple lang po, ma'am.
Okay.
Para basis po ng aking release ng pera
Let me
para
go
sa
back
kanya,
to your
ma'am.
answer a while ago. Ang sabi niyo po kanina, Ms. Acosta, parehas ang items, the only difference is the amount.
Opo, pero hindi po ganito, ma'am. Simple lang po, ma'am.
Yes. Enlighten us. Magkano ang nakalagay sa purchase of information?
Less than 14 million po, ma'am.
Less than.
Opo.
Can't you remember the amount?
12 million po.
12 million. Payment of reward.
Ito po yung 8 million, ma'am.
8 million. Rentals.
Rentals of safe houses. Ito po ang malaki, ma'am.
How much?
Ito na po ang amount na nabigay niya sa akin doon sa kanyang
How much, Ms. Acosta?
16 million po.
16.
Opo.
Purchase of supplies.
Malaki po ito, ma'am. Nagiging 37 po.
37. Payment of incentives. No. Provision of medical and food aid.
Di ko na ito maalala, ma'am. I'm sorry po, ma'am. Basta
Hindi mo maalala.
Basta yung tinali
Payment of incentive.
11 po.
11. Would you know whether these amounts would total to 125 million exactly?
Yes, ma'am. Gitotal ko po yun, ma'am. 120 million po.
You were able to check if the items and the amounts provided in the object of expenditure total to 125 million. You checked that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tanong, Ms. Acosta, what gave you the confidence? Ano ang nagbigay sa inyo ng lakas ng loob na ibigay ang buong 125 million kay Colonel La Chica, considering that he is not the accountable officer because it is you who is the accountable officer.
May approval po kay Ma'am Inday Sara.
And without the approval of the Vice President, will you give that to Colonel La Chica?
Hindi po.
Do you know Colonel La Chica?
Yes po, kasi siya po ang aming ground commander
How
ng
long
BPSC.
have you known Colonel La Chica?
Yung na-employ po ako after 3 months, yung na-employ po ako sa OBP, ma'am.
How long have you known? Since 2022?
Yes po, ma'am.
Do you trust Colonel La Chica?
I trust La Chica, I trust Sir La Chica kasi ginatrust po siya ng aking head of office na
In
si Ma'am
other
Inday Sara.
words, the only reason why you are giving your trust to Colonel La Chica is because of the instruction of the Vice President.
Yes,
Tama po
ma'am.
ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Without the instruction of the Vice President, you will never give the entire amount of 125 million to Colonel La Chica.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you realize also, Ms. Acosta, that as disbursing officer, there is a rule under PD 1445, bawal i-transfer ang disbursement sa ibang tao.
Pero ang boss ko po kasi ay si Ma'am
Please
Inday.
answer the question, ma'am.
Yes,
Under PD 1445, an authorized transfer of disbursement is prohibited. Are you aware of that?
yes, ma'am.
And what you did is an unauthorized transfer. Tama po?
Yes po, ma'am, pero may...
In other words, you are liable for the unauthorized transfer of that money which is due for your disbursement. Tama po?
Tama po, ma'am. Pero,
Are you aware also that kung ito pong perang ito ay mapupunta sa mga hindi matitino na government officials at gagamitin for purpose other than its confidential purpose, you can be held liable
Yes
for
po.
malversation of public funds by negligence.
Yes, alam ko po, ma'am. Pero nanaig po ang aking belief na may trust po ako kay La Chica dahil po authorized po siya ni Ma'am Sara Duterte.
And are you aware also that what Colonel La Chica did is he usurped
Ano po?
your authority as special disbursing officer. Ang ginawa po ni Colonel La Chica ay pinakialaman na yung trabaho na dapat ay sa inyo. We call that usurpation of authority.
Kasi po wala po akong alam kung paano po i-implement ang mga confidential activities po, ma'am. Si
Bakit
Sir La
po-
Chica lang po ang may alam.
Sandali po, bakit po wala kayong alam? You are the special disbursing officer. You prepare the financial plan. You are a signatory in the disbursement. You prepare the liquidation. You certify. You prepare the accomplishment report. Bakit wala po kayong alam?
Wala po akong alam sa pag-implement po ng confidential activities po. Dahil po, hindi ko po yan in line sa aking pinag-aralan, ma'am.
But as the special disbursing officer, of course you realize you have the function of disbursing the fund.
Yes po, pero may utos po sa akin na ibigay po kay Colonel La Chica. Kasi siya po ang expert, siya po ang may kaalaman kung paano po i-achieve ang mga confidential activities na safely and hindi po magulo.
Would you know, Ms. Acosta, kung saan po dinala ni Colonel La Chica yung 125 million?
Di ko po na po alam, ma'am, kasi sa kanya na po yung discretion kung
Hindi po niya discretion yun,
ay,
ma'am.
sa kanya na po yung
Please
trabaho.
understand, kayo po ang special disbursing officer. You're supposed to be the person doing the payment of this amount to various payees. Hindi po ito discretion ni Colonel La Chica, ma'am. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ano nga po ulit trabaho ni Colonel La Chica?
Siya po ang head ng aming BPSPG at siya po ang inatasan as security officer po ng Office of the Vice President.
And of course, you will agree with me, iba po ang trabaho ng security officer sa trabaho ng special disbursing officer. Tama po ba? As a matter of
Yes,
fact,
iba
kaya
po.
po kayo'y banded. Kaya po kayo nire-require ng Fidelity Fund is
Yes.
to take care of these public funds. Si Colonel Lachica po ba? Covered po ba siya ng Fidelity Bond?
Hindi po, ma'am.
I don't think so because it's not part of his job to disburse public funds.
Pero siya po ang may alam, ma'am, lalo na pag-implement sa mga confidential activities po, ma'am. Just like surveillance and monitoring po. Kung okay po pa dyan, itayo, example, yung satellite office.
Even when he is aware of the implementation of the surveillance activities, you, as a special disbursing officer, should be the one actually paying all the recipients. Do you understand, Ms. Acosta?
I understand po, ma'am.
Then why did you give all the money to Colonel Lachica?
Because po may utos po si Ma'am Inday Sara na sa kanya ko po i-release. Kasi siya po ang nakakaalam kung paano po i-implement ang mga programs and activities in line po sa confidential fund. Siya
Okay.
po ang mag-survey, surveillance and monitoring po. Sa kanya po yun, wala po akong alam.
Ms. Acosta, I hope you realize that it is incumbent upon you as the special disbursing officer to know all the recipients of the entire 125 million. And it is totally wrong to say na wala kayong alam. Because in the first place, trabaho nyo po to disburse these funds to the various number of recipients. Let us proceed to liquidation report. Secretariat, kindly flash the liquidation report. What is the purpose, Ms. Acosta, of the liquidation report?
To liquidate the funds granted on confidential funds po. Ililiquidate po.
Ililiquidate, and by liquidate, we need to gather proof that indeed the entire amount was utilized for the intended purpose. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
What is your participation in this liquidation report?
Yung binigay na po sa akin ni Sir Lachica ang acknowledgement
Ms. Acosta,
receipt.
please be directed to the left bottom part of the liquidation report.
Correctness of the above data po, ma'am.
Do you understand what that means?
Yes po, ma'am.
Ano pong ibig sabihin nun?
Na ang pundo po ay nagamit ng maayos sa pamagitan po ng pagkuha ng mga acknowledgement receipt po na galing po kay Sir Lachica.